Greetings, viewer. Now, today's subject for review was one I eyed for a while now, and an opportunity arrived for me to snag it. But it also has had a 180 in the fandom. People praised it when it came out, but now say it's terrible in comparison to the Kingdom version. It isn't. It just isn't. What is the figure I'm talking about? As seen with the thumbnail and this little bit that's jutting out on the camera, Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, the Takata Legends version. What's immediately obvious is that this has an IDW aesthetic. Tall and imposing shoulder stacks, dual shoulder missile pods, and angular chest instead of the blockiness of G1. I dig it. Now for the paint scheme, it's quite interesting as it's actually based on the G1 toy, as seen with the red thighs and these yellow shin guards. I don't know what these are, but yeah. Now I wonder why you never did a cartoon-based color scheme, since, go peek behind the curtains, the truck cap's bumper is red in the cartoon and can help give Magnus his square red chest, because that's where the bumper is. If it was colored red, it could be connected with this part. It's just a thought, not a complaint. However, what is a complaint is how he holds his weapons. The two guns you get are cast in this lovely white and look good, but due to the unique way he holds them, you like to fall out when you bend his elbow due to the ratchets here being stronger than the shoulders. These are quite soft, these are quite hard. And how do they tab in, you ask? They don't. You just do this and then hope for the best. I can't shake him out, that's good, but that is worrying where it just gets loose when bending the elbow. I wish these things had like tabs like a Masterpiece figures, or just employed 5mm ports instead of having the opening hand gimmick, or if they still wanted that feature, engineer the port to hide itself into the hand when opening them. But on the bright side, there is a way for the weapons to not jump out of the hands. It involves simply plugging them together using the shoulder missiles right over here and just having them like so to create a hammer, because at this point in time Magnus was known for wielding hammers. I don't know how I started, but hey, it's nice. There's a slot right over here that's cut out just for this specific combination. You can see, just slide it in and close it. That's nice. In this configuration, they won't pop out of his hands, but will shake around. I guess it's a sacrifice. Yeah, weapon holding is really not this guy's strongest point. He has decent articulation, just lacking in waist swivels, an ankle pivot, with a head that can't really turn much, this is all you're getting, due to a gimmick I'll show later. No ankle pivots is considered today as a sin, but back then it was sort of expected. He totally could have a waist swivel though. Now, hollow parts were also an expected part of toys from the 2010s and even today, so complaining about hollow parts is a bit of a moot point in my opinion, unless it's extremely obvious. Now, since this is Combiner Wars Magnus, he would have come with Minimus Ambus, a bot who in the comics took up the mantle of Ultra Magnus after the original died in battle long ago. Neat stuff, but since the Legends universe has no need for him, Takata decided to repaint him into Alpha Trion. Of all characters. They probably explained it in the pack-in manga, but I can't read it. There is a lot of paint applied, but it has the same possibility range as Cyberverse Prime RC, as seen right over here. But it is just enough to make him be able to sit inside Ultra Magnus. Just need to position him like this, open up the chest, move the head up, just split the cap open, and now you have an Ultra Magnus that has been ripped apart by the sweeps, or his chest blew out, I don't know, pick whichever death you want, and just plop him in there. But there are some ports over here they can plug into his hands, but I can't really seem to figure out how to get it to work, so I just sort of stuff him in there and hope for the best. If he's jammed in, I just count that as close enough. Like so, close him up, put this in, and close it back up. And there you go. I actually quite like this. It's the perfect way to make sure you don't lose the smaller figure while also fills out the gap. And that should be it for robot mode. Time for vehicle modes. Now, Minimus Tryon right over here is extremely simple. Fold the back and then the legs. Resulting car mod is alright I guess, but it does look like a toy for Cybertronian children, which may exist depending on continuity. Although his limbs do like popping out a fair bit. Very annoying. Ultra Magnus on the other hand leaves me wanting to do it again and again. I love how simple but ingenious it was. The arms being on sliders, the cap locking and folding, the legs, it's all great. The car carrier mode is also good, partly because it looks and functions as one, unlike Kingdom. Now, I'm sorry in advance because I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant. People gave Kingdom Magnus all mode a pass for a G1 robot mode. In my opinion, I'd say he's a failure as a G1 Magnus. Most Transformers has two modes, both need to be good. You can't just give a pass for one mode because the other one is extremely good. It's why I can't say that that thing is brilliant as a bunch of people were apparently saying. In my opinion, I think a bunch of them are blinded by nostalgia. But that's just my opinion. For this guy, you can clearly make out a truck cap, which can pivot like the real thing. You can even jackknife him, which is what this is called. The shins are ramps that actually work. Just need to push them out and there you go. Actual functioning ramps. You can get a car like this and then roll him up and then realize that this is the wrong size, pick a new one, this guy, roll him up, and then you can actually fit inside the trailer. Just close it up and there you go. It works as a trailer. Isn't that great? The upper deck can also pivot downwards as well. Just show you right here. You need to untap it first and then you can move it down. Nice. Now, however, due to these parts right over here, the hand guards, I don't know what those are. You can't really roll a car out, you get a bit stuck. But I think it's an issue with most car carrier Ultra Magnus, I believe. Like the Masterpiece version also struggle with this. So hey, it might be a universal design problem. But honestly, it's not that bad. And the weapon storage ain't bad either. Just plug them in, like right over here. It works, probably because a vehicle of this type does carry a lot of stuff. I know it's mostly cars, but I can see it just, carrying extra stuff on the side. Like armaments for some reason. Now, I normally don't talk about scale, but first, these things don't go together, but these two do, so and so on and so forth. This one's a bit too big and stuff. However, what I want to focus on is a sculpted indoor ladder. I think this is like a walkway. More ladders right over here. And the truck cap has a door and a ladder. And if these are human size, they imply that he is ginormous. Maybe this Alpha Animus scale is correct after all. Because even this guy is too big if we're talking about the scale of that. Hell, maybe this screenshot of an episode of Season 3 would also be correct, where the animators were clearly not paid enough to care. Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus for the Takata Legends, because this is the version I have, is what I want in an Ultra Magnus toy. Big and imposing with a functioning car carrier. Plus, he is a good substitute for people wanting 86 Commander Magnus, like me. And also the only representation of IDW Magnus that's not legend scale. Mandarake, where I got my copy, has him at a very reasonable 45 to 55 SGD range. Because current leader prices are too high for a 2015 leader. I am praising this guy, but I'm not gonna drop $100 just for this guy. Definitely not. And yeah, that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope to see you in another review. Bye.